After a long tow out behind the team's hydrogen-powered chase boat, Chase Zero, the sails were hoisted and sheeted on. It took just a handful of minutes for helmsman Nathan Outteridge to go from a cautious displacement mode to popping the AC40 up onto its foils and off on starboard tack at over 20+ knots in the light 8 to 10 knots of breeze.
Hugely exciting day for the team. Massive amount of nervous excitement. We're now getting towards the final end of the commissioning phase, so we want to tow test the boat to make sure that it behaves how we sort of think it will on the foils, but like any high performance boat, you just don't know what's going to come our way today. So very excited, very nervous, and hopefully we're still smiling at the end of it.
So just
everything went pretty well. It wasn't too difficult, to be honest. There's not a lot of load on things when both boats are foiling, and yeah, the hydrogen boat's been great and it's doing what it should be doing, and we're having a pretty successful first day with the AC40 as well. So no, it's really good.
Seemed to go pretty well. Pretty cool being on board the hydrogen boat, and yeah, it's not until we see the boat sailing that we'll tick off a few more things and have a bit more confidence. But good to tick off the systems and see the boat foiling around under tow, and it all seemed to go well.
This is your weekly Sailing World on Water for September 23, 2022. Here is the best in sailing in the last 7 days. The first 2 days of the 2022 Rolex Swan Cup have offered enthralling competition. The 4-1 design classes, including the highly competitive ClubSwan 50 and the ClubSwan 36, making its event debut, have completed 4 intense windward and leeward races, while the other 4 classes Maxi, Mini Maxi, Sparkman and Stevens and Grand Prix have been presented with coastal races through the mesmerising Maddalena archipelago.
Supreme craftsmanship, precision, innovation, tradition. Qualities that epitomise one of sailing's most historic and revered events, the Rolex Swan Cup. This highly anticipated regatta, bringing together more than 90 of the world's finest swan yachts, has got underway on Sardinia's Costa Smeralda after a 4-year absence. And from the start, this amazing collection of yachts, big and small, modern and classic, lit up the 21st edition with colour and spectacle in perfect sailing conditions. Whilst the majority of the fleet have been sailing scenic coastal courses, the one design classes have been competing on a windward leeward racetrack, with attention on the ClubSwan 36 class making its event debut. G-Spot has made an early impression, but is being chased hard by Farstar. This cutting-edge C4 design epitomises Nautilus Swan's constant quest for innovation and reflects just how far the marque has evolved since its original 36-foot design of the late 1960s. Also sailing windward lewards, the incredibly competitive ClubSwan 50 class, crewed by some of the world's leading tacticians.
We're going to guide inside of it.
With Balthazar leading the 15-strong fleet after 4 races. This event, bringing together long-standing partners Rolex, Nautilus Swan and the Yacht Club Costa Smeralda, has made an enthralling start. Join us again for more updates from the Rolex Swan Cup 2022.
Shelter Island Yacht Club team competing in the 2022 Resolute Cup, day 1 after 6 races, and just one finish better than mid-fleet. The team was in 9th place, 3 places removed from a coveted spot in the Gold Fleet. With a 2-time Olympian at the helm and a summer of practice to get ready, this wasn't the way things were supposed to go for the venerable club at the eastern end of Long Island. Here is the New York Yacht Club's report of days 1 and 2.
This is an excellent competition. The vibe is always exciting. You know, clubs from around the country send some of their best amateur sailors. It's continually gotten better as word's gotten more and more out. And of course, the New York Yacht Club and the crew here at Harbor Court always put on the best event. We're pumped, we're ready, and let's go sailing.
Today was our final day of qualifying. We started our races in the RS21, which we knew we had a little advantage on, and so we started out with a good series. We switched over to the sonars. We made some adjustments from our tactics yesterday, and we were excited to know when we crossed the finish line in the final race, we'd made the gold fleet. We're really excited to get racing. I know that I have what it takes to go up against these top skippers.
The 2022 Resolute Cup is sponsored by RS Sailing, the manufacturer of the RS21 and other fine sailboats, as well as Helly Hansen, Safe Harbor Marinas, and Hammett's Hotel.
After a long day on Thursday, with 2 more races eventually sailed, Laurent Hay from France remains second to leader Spain's Miguel Fernandez Vasco, while Paul Mackenzie from Australia remains third. It was a day defined by changeable winds and a close and intense battle between Fernandez and Hay, resulting in Fernandez taking a 2-point lead after 4 races.
Vicino al pin e ho virato subito verso destra. Poi con una buona pressione sono riuscito a rimanere comunque alto sulla flotta che è andata a destra e sono anche riuscito in velocità a sfilare i primi che erano a sinistra. Quindi ho girato la prima bobina primo, nella poppa ho perso 2 barche perché mi hanno passato tanto 75.
There was a really good wind and was really shifty, but in the end was a good condition, good wave, and was really beautiful to sail today. This place is amazing to sail. There is good condition and also the place is really beautiful, and I really like to be here. Wooden fin for a start off, and I thought, and I spent a winter doing that up, and then but then I found out it was too slow. So there was a nice bunch of guys in New Zealand and really good fleet, close racing. So I thought, well, let's get into it, and so I was able to buy one of the Olympic fins, and now I'm hooked. Today was interesting. It was an up day for me in the first race, and then the second race I found out what life's like in the sewer, you know, and I was back there rucking it out with all the other guys, but they're all good competitors, and they're all very good yachtsmen, and they know these fins, they sail them downwind amazingly.
airs, sunny skies and flatter seas defined the second day of competition and offered crews some reprieve from yesterday's heavier conditions at the Rolex Big Boat Series, hosted by St. Francis Yacht Club in San Francisco. On a shifty, puffy and generally frustrating day on Narragansett Bay, the key to success in the 2022 Resolute Cup was patience and conservative decision-making, at least according to the two skippers currently occupying the top two slots.
First day of racing in Gold Fleet was really tight. It was great to have all the top guys together. All the results were all over the place. Definitely a long day. We had the northerly fighting with the sea breeze for an extended period of time. Current definitely made everything a little bit more interesting and added some aspects that weren't even here on the last 2 days. It was really nice to get to sail north of the bridge, have a different venue, have a little more smooth water. And I think it led to some very tight racing that was very competitive. We're looking forward to finishing it out tomorrow.
'em. It's extremely difficult. Today was the first day of Gold Fleet racing, and the talent level in Gold Fleet is super high. I mean, you look at the teams crossing the line, you know, last, second to last, third to last, they're full of extremely talented sailors. You know, every boat in Gold Fleet is capable of winning races. And so there's really just very little margin for error. You know, you can go through the resume of everybody in this regatta, and there's a lot of really high achieving sailors. So it's pretty cool to get to compete against those in an amateur event like this.
The 2022 Resolute Cup is sponsored by RS Sailing, the manufacturer of the RS-21 and other fine sailboats, as well as Helly Hansen, Safe Harbor Marinas, and Hammett's Hotel.
San Francisco Bay presented a morning ebb tide that ran smack dab into an escalating westerly breeze, stirring up square-faced chop for the first race of Day 3 at Rolex Big Boat Series in San Francisco. The breeze continued to build as the afternoon progressed, but a flooding tide dulled the Whitecaps during the day's second race, with all 76 competing boats finishing within cheering distance of the race deck of St. Francis Yacht Club. The 21st edition of the Rolex Swan Cup continues to deliver an exceptional level of competition. Close contests across all classes and excellent sailing conditions have characterized the 3 days of racing held thus far.
Exceptional yachts, sailed by passionate crews. Gripping racing in stunning scenery. The world-class qualities on show at the Rolex Swan Cup. As we pass the midway point of this renowned regatta, excitement is building. 3 days of superlative racing have witnessed outstanding performances across this 90-strong fleet. Sailing the coastal courses, the Grand Prix, Mini Maxi and Maxi classes. In the latter, Display is leading Freya and a resurgent Maison after a spectacular day on the water.
Downwind we were really fast. We touched over 25 knots today with 26 knots of wind, so I believe that we could do even more than that if we have the right wind.
And drama in the Sparkman and Stevens Classic class, where Mascalzone Latino and Sherlaff are tied for first place. From coastal to the windward leeward racetrack, where the One Design high-performance swans have been making their mark. In the ultra-competitive ClubSwan 50s, Balthazar holds a hard-fought lead over Hatari, but chasing hard in third place, Stella Maris, still very much in the hunt for class honours.
I think we can do it. I think we need to have a great day, but I think it's within reach. But we have to go step by step, still a lot of races to do.
As this gripping regatta continues to unfold, it's all to play for. Join us again for the final update and race winners of the Rolex Swan Cup 2022.
After displaying remarkable consistency across a range of conditions over the first 3 days of the 2022 Resolute Cup, Corinthian Yacht Club of Marblehead decided to dispense with the pleasantries. The team representing the storied Northeast Yacht Club won both races today to emphatically claim the Resolute Cup and a berth in the 2023 Rolex New York Yacht Club Invitational Cup.
So we're really excited about the win. Very close racing with the San Diego Yacht Club and tricky conditions out there, so we're stoked to come away with a 1-1 to seal the regatta. This has been a goal of the club for a really long time. Long work to get here and a lot of hard work from everyone at our club, not just the 4 sailors. So we're really happy and really excited to qualify for the Invitational Cup and can't wait to get back to the club.
This week at New York at Resolute, it was a tough week of sailing. We did our best. We managed to get the win in the silver fleet, so we're very happy as a team. The excitement was nonstop. Every race, you knew you had to do well. You couldn't afford any mistakes out there on the race course. And then this whole time preparing for the event, we really, as a team, I thought got together a lot. We did what we thought we needed to do, and we kind of went from there.
2022 Resolute Cup is sponsored by RS Sailing, the manufacturer of the RS-21 and other fine sailboats, as well as Helly Hansen, Safe Harbor Marinas, and Hammett's Hotel.
A memorable 21st edition of the Rolex Swan Cup reaffirmed the event's status as one of the world's most complete sailing competitions. Uniting the unrelenting commitment of Swan owners and sailors, a breathtaking sailing environment, intense competition and first-class organization, the regatta made a triumphant return.
Within the most passionate echelons of sailing, there's always been a pursuit of perfection, superlative design, performance, craftsmanship, occasion, a quest that has been impeccably borne out at this year's Rolex Swan Cup. A sensational week of world-class yacht racing in Porto-Cervo has provided a timely reminder of why this event is so highly revered.
In the past day, looking at all these swans coming from different countries, different boats. I mean, it's something amazing. I think that is something unique. It's what makes the Rolex Swan Cup such a special event.
More than 90 yachts have enjoyed champagne sailing and each other's company in a feast of yacht racing provided by partners Rolex, Nautilus Swan and the Yacht Club Costa Smeralda. The array and variety of yachts has been breathtaking, and the performances equally remarkable. The Maxis have graced the Maddalena archipelago with elegance and majesty, with Freya proving best in class. Joining them, Mascalzone Latino, Flo and Krillia have enjoyed success in their respective classes too. And in the One Design division, the racing has been thrilling, both in terms of action and closeness of competition. Wins for Nadir and Blue Sky, with G-Spot pipping Farstar to win the ClubSwan 36s, and Balthazar taking class honours in the ClubSwan 50s. Plaudits for all class winners, but unanimous consensus that the biggest winner here has been the event itself, the Rolex Swan Cup 2022.
The ocean race teams lined up against one another in a crude format for a 48-hour offshore race in the Defi Azimuth. 11th hour racing team took first place, but the other teams were not far behind. It was a close call and not without challenges.
I think this is a great opportunity for us to line up with other boats, especially with the crude one for the ocean race. It's 48 hours, we're going to find pretty much all different conditions, different angles, so it will be a really interesting event to compare performance and get ready for the ocean race. Racing, okay?
It's really important we kind of try and stick to our own mode, but you know, most of the work we've been doing this year has been on our own and figuring it out using the data and our feelings.
One more, stand by.
Already so in. Okay, working on it. Yeah, it's the hydrant's gone. The hydrant's flipped out, okay?
Okay, this is gonna suck, guys, okay?
Yeah, the sea state's not really great. And we hit a wave and we lost our compass, so the boat bore away for absolutely no reason. And we're lucky to have saved it. Yeah, it was a good first outing for the squad against other boats. There's certainly some things that we could have done better, but there's a lot that we did well, which I think is a function of all the time that we've put in. 365 days ago, we couldn't even finish this race. It was great to see how we lined up against some of the other boats, not only in our division, but some of the solo guys, and it was nice to kind of figure out, yeah, generally speaking, it was a very confidence-inspiring outing. I mean, we're proud of the accomplishment, happy for the victory, but we also know that we got a lot to work on too, and that this is only the first step. But it's good to see that the work that we've put in thus far, has set a pretty good benchmark.